Hi, hello. This is Alex Costa from A&R Design. And today we're gonna go through kind of an interesting build. We are gonna be primarily talking about this Knight's Armament 11.5 CQB upper. We had to have a host lower receiver. So I ended up grabbing one of these Silencer Co. SR-15 ambidextrous lower receivers as the lower receiver host for this KAC upper. And I have the Seekins Precision ambidextrous safety. It's their whole LPK. The Silencer Co. lower comes with an ambidextrous bolt release, which is kind of nice. And you can do bolt lock with it as well. I really like the Silencer Co. lower. Only thing that was a little weird is I'm running the Seekins front takedown pin, but a mil-spec rear takedown pin. I wouldn't expect the Seekins components to be out of spec. So I'm gonna have to chalk this up to the Silencer Co. lower is probable to be out of spec for the ID inside diameter of the rear takedown pin. The only reason why I am blaming it on the Silencer Co. is because I have a friend that has like 5 of these and every single lower mics out different. And Seekins makes super precision parts. So anyway, had to use a dissimilar rear takedown pin, but it's just a takedown pin at the end of the day. So what we're gonna be talking about today is the Knight's Armament 11.5 upper. Knight's Armament guns come with proprietary bolt carriers and bolts. They are really goddamn nice. This is the 3.2 model bolt carrier and bolt for the 11.5.
You can use other bolt carrier and bolts in a Knight's Armament gun, but if you're running the Knight's Armament bolt carrier and bolt, it is different. And we say this because the front bolt face of the 3.2 version bolt has dual ejectors. So this is not the extractor claw that hooks into the case. This is the ejector. So the front face, if you're not familiar with the front face of a bolt carrier or a bolt, you'll typically see that single plunger sticking out and it's in the same plane as the extractor. On the Knight's bolt face, there are 2 ejectors.
We grabbed this 11.5 from Pre-Sample Depot. They have very competitive prices on Knight's products and they roll inventory quite often. So anyway, why did we get this gun? Well, this is kind of your quintessential bomb-proof, military, spec'd out upper receiver. And I say that because these Knight's uppers are overgassed on purpose. They have a proprietary gas system, and that's why you need to use their proprietary bolt carriers and, well, not bolt carriers. You can use other bolt carriers in this, but it does have a proprietary gas system. They are non-adjustable gas. They are overgassed on purpose because Knight's makes battle-proven weapon systems. These are supposed to be able to operate in super adverse climates, get super dirty, super nasty, and still run. So they're purposefully overgassed. And in the world of boutique ARs, this is battle-proven high tier AR. You're not gonna get boutique AR accuracy out of it. It's a good shooter, it's an accurate gun, but you're not gonna get button cut, 416 stainless, like super tight groups. You're not gonna get, you know, adjustable gas, super soft felt recoil. I mean, you're gonna get a gun that runs, that will always run. You know, there's cold hammer forged chromoly line barrel. This gun was built to be a machine gun if necessary. So I have this configured. I got 2 Mod Light buttons. We sell the Surefire edition of the Mod Light button. This is a Mod Light NGAL specific, or this one is NGAL specific switch. It's a very expensive switch. I think they're like 300 bucks, maybe almost 400. I can't remember how much it was at the time, but it's a really expensive switch for a really expensive laser. Running a Surefire Scout Mini Pro, one of the newer ones. Really like the Pros. They have the articulating arm here. Put it in the front M-lock, get it real tight to your laser. It's really nice. Bravo Company QD cup in the front, our very own Link Light sling. So this is the light version of our Link sling. I have a Neo Mag Sentry strap and multicam. So you can get this switch holder on our website. You can get this light on our website. You can get this sling on our website. And you can get the Sentry strap on our website. We're running a Geisley combat, special combat trigger. Geisley's got so many goddamn triggers. It's their special combat trigger. So that's what we're running for a trigger in there. Really happy with the setup. We're gonna run 2 suppressors on it today. When we're on the shooting deck, we're gonna be running the Sig Sauer 5.56 SLX full-size high-flow surge style can. And it's a little bit quieter. It's nicer when it's closer to the house. And then when we go down in the cut, we'll run the SLX 5.56C. Gets hotter, it's louder, but it's more fun. I have been playing with buffers, not buffer weights. I am using the factory Knights Armament, which I believe is an H2 that comes with this upper receiver. So when you buy these uppers, they come with the bolt carrier group, the charging handle, and a buffer, the muzzle device, and flip-up iron sights. We don't really run flip-up irons. So even though you're paying about $2,000 for an upper receiver alone, you can sell the muzzle device, you can sell the flip-up irons, you can recoup about $500 that you've already put into it. So things that people do to try to make these soft shooters, a buddy of mine put a bootleg bolt carrier group in there to adjust gas, to like limit gas. And a lot of people, you know, you get the diehard Knights fans that say, you know, don't make it shoot soft. Well, there's a lot of people that try to make their gun shoot soft. I know the Voltor A5 rifle length buffer tube with the Voltor A5 rifle buffer and a green Springco rifle length spring on this gun without adjustable bolt carrier with the factory bolt carrier makes it a pretty soft shooter. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go with a rifle length buffer tube and buffer assembly. I still wanted this gun to function, you know, pretty much as advertised, but I did want to lighten the felt recoil a hair. I am running a carbine spring length red and white buffer string from Springco with the Knights Armament factory buffer, and we'll run that with the SLX. I did want to show you guys, we do have a Springco rifle length green buffer, and I brought it out today because it does run in this gun and it doesn't fully compress. So the Springco green spring is about 1/2 inch longer than the carbine spring, give or take, you know, 1/4 inch. Is it bad to run a rifle length buffer in a carbine length buffer tube? The internet says yes, but after lots and lots of research into buffer spring lengths from different companies, I've realized that there are companies that will run rifle length springs in carbine guns and vice versa. Some companies will formulate some type of recipe that works best for their weapon system, and sometimes it ends up rifle length buffers in carbine guns. And to you guys, the purchasers who aren't really versed in buffer springs, don't know that that's a thing. So after running, I have run this gun with the green buffer spring. This is a new one. I don't know where my old beat up one is, but I have run the green spring in it. The first few magazines on a brand new spring, you might not get locked back on the last round in the mag, but once it kind of breaks in, you're getting a really soft shooter. So just putting this spring into this system with the factory buffer in this setup with a high flow can. So the cans that we're running today are high flow surge cans. They don't increase the bolt speed by very much. And if they do, it's only by a few percent. If you're running like an RC2 Surefire on this gun, you're gonna get a ton of back pressure. The gun's gonna get really hard to manage unless you do something about your buffer weights. So we just wanted to talk about some options of getting this softer shooter, especially if you're running a high flow can on it. We're only running low flow can, if you're running low flow cans on it, we're only gonna be running high flow cans today, which again, don't really change the system all that much. But if you're running a low flow can, Dead Air Sandman S, Sandman L, RC2, pretty much any other can on the market that's not a Huxworks or an SLX, you're gonna get a lot of back pressure. And this gun does put a lot of gas in your face if you run a low flow, quieter can. So yeah, You can run a rifle length spring in a carbine length buffer as long as you're running a carbine buffer. You're not gonna get complete compression in your spring, and your spring is already gonna start under load. So you can see, like, here's the whole length of it. Well, I guess it's there, you know. You're already starting pretty compressed. So you're compressing a lot of spring, and it's already starting the operation of firing in compression. So it's already starting to slow that buffer down pretty immediately compared to like a carbine length that's softer, that doesn't have as much tension out the gate. I'm getting perfect 3 o'clock ejection, soft shooting out of this gun with just this buffer spring. The way I currently have it, it's ejecting at like the 3:30, 4 o'clock. And if you don't know what gassing's like on an AR, 3 o'clock is perfect. As you approach 12 o'clock, you're overgassed. And as you approach 6 o'clock, you're undergassed. So even with the red and white, and some people say, well, why are you running a red and white? I'm running a red and white spring because I get softer felt recoil from a red and white at the 4 o'clock ejection, which is slightly undergassed, which is strange to me because when I put a white spring in, or like a standard carbine spring in this gun, I'm getting about 4 o'clock ejection as well, not 3 o'clock ejection, but I'm getting more felt recoil from this gun. So I went with a higher spring weight, and it's undergassed, but it's softer shooting than running a mil-spec carbine spring that's ejecting at the same position, but feels harder to manage. Anyway, that's not the way it should be. You should put a carbine spring, it should be ejecting at the 3 o'clock. For some reason, it doesn't do that with this gun, it does it with this buffer. So that's kind of what we're gonna go through today. And we're gonna run the shit out of this gun. This gun's got, I don't know, 600 or 700 rounds on it. We've got, I think 400 or 500 rounds jammed up for today. So we're just gonna put it through its paces, get it hot, get the cans hot, and just kind of beat it up a bit. And then we'll switch buffers to show the difference between ejection, and we'll focus on that kind of stuff. Thank you for listening to my rambles. That's crazy. Yeah, but it's also the can. So this can, even though it's a bigger can, so it's interesting. So I'm getting like 4:30, 5 o'clock ejection right now with this suppressor, which oh fuck. All right, so I was getting like 4:30 ejection with the SLX can. So I'm getting, it's interesting switching from the SLX 5.56 where I'm getting more undergassed ejection. So like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or 4:30, 5 o'clock ejection. You switch to the compact can, which is a shorter can, which you'd think would be higher flow, which would mean less back pressure. The SLX full-size can is showing even more undergassed ejection, whereas the compact can is showing closer to nominal gassing. So shorter can you'd think would have higher flow, which would have less back pressure, which would make it more overgassed, not undergassed, but we're getting more undergassed ejection from the longer can. Yeah, so I'm getting some of that. I know I'm panning this way, but some of that's coming closer to 3 o'clock. So this is all the compact is this area, and full-size can is in that area. Oh, and then, you know, when you need to store magazines or other things, we have the smallest on the market compact micro dump pouches that have a 6 mag fully loaded capacity with a stiffening ring on them and a little keeper. So your mags don't fall out. All right, let's change buffers. How many community violations can we break in one video? The whole video. Another thing will probably violate community guidelines. These are Dura Mag stainless steel mags. We're running a combination of Dura Mag stainless and Dura Mag aluminum, both of which are on sale on A&R Design website. We sell magazines too, guys. All right, let's check ejection. We have ejection in this range here. Let's do ejection with the SLX full-size can real quick. So we're getting more at the 3 o'clock. We're getting some 4 o'clock stuff. I don't know if you know, but I'm shooting a 38-yard target from here, and one drop shot, shooting pretty quick. So that's like 330 ejection. Oh, with lockback. Talk about a fast trigger, fast gun, really nice ejection. Definitely sitting more at the 3 o'clock with this can. We're gonna switch over to the SLX 556C, which we're gonna get some really solid 3 o'clock ejection on. So a lot of the internet tells you if you run a rifle length buffer spring, you're gonna get bulging of the buffer tube. You could break your weapon system, you could damage your buffer, you can do all these things. But what I'm gonna tell you right now is started researching people that have actually done, there's some blogs of people that have actually done the research, like DPMS between their rifles and carbines use the same length springs. Obviously the world's gonna say, oh, well, it's DPMS. Well, it doesn't matter. If you're getting super quality ejection, you're getting mag, bolt lock, magazine lock back, you're not getting any deformation of the buffer tube. You know, the recoil, the buffer spring on this is, we'll measure it real quick. So a brand new one versus a not so new one. All right, well, we'll have to edit the earlier comment about the difference in length, but I do have about 500 or 600 rounds on the carbine length. This is the rifle length. So you got about 2 inches of extra length here, but you're never gonna fully compress this spring in a carbine tube with a carbine length buffer. Like, it's kind of impossible. Not to mention, you've got more spring length here. It's more spring that's already under compression. So that carbine buffer is never going to even get remotely close to compacting this all the way and compressing this all the way in the back of the buffer tube. I mean, you can see that the difference is quite significant in length, but we're getting a soft shooter, really nice ejection. You know, you're not getting a ton of wear and tear on the buffer itself. Are you putting more tension on the buffer pin detent? Yes, yeah, you sure are. Is there a chance that you break it? I don't think so. The second the gun starts the combustion process and that bolt carrier starts moving rearward, the spring is already in compression. It's already instantly slowing down the bolt carrier and you're getting really quality ejection there. So we will switch cans. Whew, spicy. So I love these SLXs, but they get freaking hot. They get really hot. Let's look at ejection real quick. We'll shoot the 25 yard. Three to 4 o'clock. Yeah, it runs. Definitely feels a little softer with the full length can. You might be getting a little bit more flow. It's weird that the short can, you know, exhibits a lower flow can in terms of ejection. Get at 50. 1 second at 50 yards. Nine 7. 116. 0.74 at 30. 0.89. Let's do that to 40. 0.95. We'll do 5 shots up close, see what our splits are with this can and spring. So on the beep, 25 yards, 0.14 splits, 151 for 5 shots. So it's a quick gun with this rifle spring. It's super soft shooting. We can go back to shooting it with the carbine length spring just to show, you know, felt recoil again. The other thing to talk about though is, or one consideration when running a rifle length buffer spring, it will soften in time. It will have adverse compression over time. So if you're running that spring, soft shooter right now, but that spring will blow out a lot faster. Is that a problem? Are you gonna blow it out in a carbine length? It's probably gonna shrink down to a carbine length spring at some point, but you're probably gonna get a pretty good life out of it. You're gonna get as much life rather than running a correct spec'd out carbine length spring. Probably not, but you'll probably get a pretty good life out of it. And you know, buffer springs are like 20 bucks. So who cares? All right, let's do 5 shots. See if there's any difference. So 5 shots in 150 with 0.15 splits. So faster on 5, but my splits are a little longer. All right. .164 with 114 split. .147 with 0.13 splits. So it's a nominal change. I mean, I can feel it on my end. We can see it in the ejection pattern. But you know, if you're a good shooter, you can make up for it. So reliability wise, and the only reason why I want to talk about the green spring is when I was buying buffer springs, I accidentally bought the green spring rifle length, and I threw it in this gun. And I was like, damn, this is like really nice ejection. And then it clicked like, oh shit, no, this is actually, it's a rifle length spring. No shit why it has a nicer ejection pattern. It feels gassed better. So this is just a scientific test. It runs in this gun. I'm not getting malfunctions with the green spring versus the red and white from Springco. So we're still getting a quality shooter. It's still pretty quick. You know, this gun's gonna run no matter what. This gun's just bomb proof. I was faster by almost a second. All right, let's try ambidextrous mag release again. That was silly. I'm not even gonna read that time because I was trying to gas it to the release before dropping the magazine. So let's do that again. .465, my first time doing it was 460. I mean, you could practice with it, but you gotta come off grip funny and get back on grip funny to use these Ambis. You know, I really like the Ambi bolt releases for bolt lock. If you need to clear your weapon system, drop mag, rack out around and lock the bolt. It's nice so you don't have to, you know, put your left hand here, hold your bolt lock and do it that way. I think for bolt lock purposes, the ambidextrous releases are nicer. Or if you're running from a prone position or a bagged position or a stable position, something where you have time, you know, or you don't want to come off gun, you're already, you know, feeding and dropping, you know, bolt releases make more sense for that. Are Ambis faster? I don't think so. I think situationally they have their purposes, but I think when you're already feeding the mag here, your thumb's right here, you just tap the bolt release and slide your hand forward. I feel like it's more natural. So when you're running this gun and it's up and the gun goes dry and you bring the gun to this position and you go and you drop your mag, you know, to get your hand to touch that bolt release, I have to choke back on my gun like this. So my gun's not where it my primary hand's not where it needs to be, which is here. So when I reload and I feed that mag, I mean, my thumb's already right where it needs to be here on the bolt release. So ambidextrous, again, you know, it depends on the lower receiver, how it's configured. Do I think this is a really great bolt release? I think so, because I like the bolt lock feature of it, but that's about it. I'm never gonna, unless I'm bagged behind something and it's bang, 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 you know, reloading while looking through glass, dropping bolt and getting on, you know, having time behind it. Sure, that makes sense to me. But for this configuration, something on the fly, like I'm never gonna use that bolt release ever. You gotta change your grip. You're not that in control of the weapon system as much when you do it this way. You know, you gotta use it with your index finger. You got a fucking dust cover in the way that you can stab your finger into, you know, if you're not careful. Ambi's a nice feature, but I don't think it's fucking necessary at all for a platform. At least for a CQB gun, I don't think it's necessary. Dropped my last shot, shot 11, 1-4 splits, 219. Damn. 0.13 splits, 212, 11 shots. That's why people do build drills with 10 rounds in a mag. I'm not good at counting. Two, 2, 5, 1, 5, 11 shots. Wow, why do I keep doing 11 shots? .16 split, 212, again 212, 10 shots, no drop shots. 11 shots again. Anyway, guys, if you're at the range and you want to do some drills, you know, with a rifle, you can run like the Bear Solutions cold start drill, which is what, 5 shots on each target, 3 shots in the middle under a certain time. You can do some cold start drills. You can do some bill drills, run some B8s out to 100 yards, do some relays, you know, run to certain, it's shitty icy snow right now, so we can't do too much running gunning here. But in general, you know, if you want to run some drills at the range, you can start in the standing, do 1 shot standing, 1 shot kneeling, 1 shot prone. You can do modified prone. You can do all kinds of different, getting into different positions as fast as possible, taking 1 shot. So we'll do 1 shot standing, 1 shot kneeling, 1 shot prone. See how fast we can do it in the snow. Oh. 366. Let's call my kneeling terrible. Kneeled with the wrong leg. But for the sake of 50 yards, that was faster for me to get into the prone from on a downward slant. I'll do it again. .403. So if you want to get really proficient with rifles, get fast, do that. Do lots of that. Do lots of getting into standard and non-standard shooting positions under time, rounds down range. Other drills you can run, if you have enough length of pull with your sling and you don't choke yourself, which I don't, so I can do it this way, is you can also work on transferring between shoulders. So and I'm doing safety every time. 30 round mag, call it the never ending mag because your shoulders start to burn at the end of it. So that's a lot of fun too. That gets your reps in, gets your control over the weapon system. You're switching in between dominant and non-dominant side, which is great as well. So you're benefiting shooting weak-sided. Doing that drill really helped me with precision rifle series because a lot of times matches, they would put you in a match and be like, oh, you got to shoot out to 1,000 yards support side. And you're like, okay, like let's do it. I've done it a million times with an AR, you know, and you get the dudes that never practice it in any platform and they suffer. So, I mean, running the never ending mag is great. And we're out. So those are some quick little rifle drills you can run at the range. You know, they're not necessarily accuracy drills. They're not necessarily super fast cadence drills, but they get you proficient manipulating your gun and getting your reps in, getting some cardio in at the same time, and just getting better with your gun. That was like 400 rounds through the KAC today. The only malfunction, I had an ammunition related malfunction and a magazine related malfunction, which I believe that the ammunition related malfunction was magazine related. I got 1 mag in there that was brand new, or 2 mags that are like brand new, a little stiff. I had a round completely bullnosed into itself, so, but it wasn't pushed in from the gun. The gun didn't cause it to bullnose. I think the projectile was actually fucked up already. So I had an ammunition related malfunction, and then I had a mag related malfunction, which was just this new magazine for some reason was tripping my bolt release here. So I don't know what's up with maybe the follower on that mag is out of spec or something like that, but otherwise everything ran smoothly, gun ran great. 2 different suppressors, we got really consistent brass ejection. This finished setup, I'm running the rifle length spring, the rifle green spring with this can which kind of seems like a really neat little recipe for this gun. Definitely the softest shooting of all the setups today is the green with the full-size SLX 5.56. I will return it back to its natural position, which will be, I'm gonna put my carbine white and red back in with my compact SLX 5.56 can. Just because I know that's tried and true, no malfunctions. We didn't have any malfunctions with the green spring today, but you know, guys, just because the internet says so doesn't mean it's always true. Everything is different. And it's kind of one of those things where if you don't try it, you don't know. And this gun had no issues with running this setup in that configuration. It's kind of a neat little setup. Well, thank you so much for watching our video on the Knights Armament 11.5 CQB upper. Just to recap, we ran the 5.56 SLXC from Sig Sauer. We're big fans of these cans. It's a 3D printed Inconel. The clutch lock device on the back of it is absolutely fantastic. This series of cans from Sig are definitely my favorite in the 5.56 platform. I greatly prefer the SLX series over the SLH 30 cal and SLH 5.56 series. The SLX is pretty awesome. For a high flow suppressor, it eats muzzle flash. They do get really hot, but they're great cans and they don't increase bolt speed very much. So my primary setup with this is a Springco red and white factory KAC buffer and the SLX 5.56C. We did test today the M16 AR-15 rifle buffer spring, full length buffer spring in green from Springco. So Springco makes really nice springs. And that spring specifically, even though it's a rifle length, it does work in a carbine length buffer tube. Just wanted to show that don't believe everything you read on the internet. It actually is a fairly soft shooter and it gasses it really well that way. This is the 5.56 SLX suppressor that we were running. So the green spring plus this can ran really, really nice in the gun. Today we're running Dura Mag stainless steel mags. We have these on our website. They are our preferred magazines now over pretty much everything. We run a lot of machine guns, a lot of hot stuff, and you don't get lip flaring from hot receivers with metal magazines. Again, we're really happy with this gun. Carbine length buffer tube, the factory KAC buffer that comes with it. It's got a really nice ambidextrous charging handle, super easy to access and get to. The KAC bolt and bolt carrier are bomb proof. You can't beat Knights Armament bolt carriers and bolts. Just remember they're proprietary. They have to go with the weapon systems themselves, but they're absolute rock solid setup. I forget which URX this is. Is this the new one? URX 4? Yep. So this is the Knights with the URX 4 handguard. They're a pretty robust handguard. I saw recently a guy posted a photo of his dented. When you do get into these M-LOK handguards, they're pretty thin, so don't expect quad rail toughness out of these M-LOK handguards, but again, Knights makes really nice stuff, so they're pretty rock solid. These barrels will outlive most people, so if you get a Knights a lot, and the problem with these Knights is guys will get them because it's a Knights, they won't shoot them. A lot of people will buy Knights, collect Knight stuff, they won't shoot them, they won't run their guns. I mean, these are battle-proven weapon systems. Like, just fuck your gun up. Run your gun hard, get it dirty, get it nasty, beat it up, get it full of mud. The gun was designed, the Knights guns were designed to run, no matter what. If you want a super soft 22, you want your Knights to run like a 22, go buy a boutique AR and throw an adjustable gas block on it and run a super soft shooter. You're not gonna get your super soft, perfect shooting out of a Knights gun. You're gonna get a gun that will always run, that will always function the way you want it to. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. What paint did I, I'm probably gonna get quick. What spray paint? So this upper receiver was a black upper receiver. I spray painted it and I let it cure. My lower receiver I spray painted but didn't let it cure and built it out anyway while it was still wet. I used Aerovo, I don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure it's their flat dark earth, but it comes out as a coyote brown. So this is Aerovo spray paint. They're no longer, they don't make camo colors anymore. So I made sure to stock up when they stopped producing it, but it's a really, really nice bomb-proof spray paint. So anyway, that's it. I'm running a Comp M5 I got from ET Gear Co. We don't have, this is Scalar Works on it. We don't have a Anvil manufacturing Comp M5 Ukon yet. We're gonna be building one out pretty soon. So until then, I'll run Scalar Works stuff. They make really good aim-point mounts as well. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you own a Knights and you don't shoot it, don't be a bitch. Go run it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, talk shit, whatever. All right, so here at A&R Design YouTube, we don't monetize the channel, which means you don't watch ads. And if you do watch an ad, that's because YouTube is screwing us out of money that we decided not to opt in for. Anyway, because of this, and we are a thermoplastic solution soldier systems equipment development company, here's our in-person commercial. So I've already talked about what things on this weapon system you can buy off of our website. But what else can you buy off our website? Well, we're running the new, is that wet? We're running the new Blue Alpha Gear duty belt light. I don't actually know the name of it, but we're really close to Blue Alpha. It's their new belt. I got it in M81. It's pretty rad. And so we're gonna go through all the fixings. This is a Blue Alpha Gear tourniquet sleeve. And we sell these on the website. You can buy this. It's under Battle Belt Accessories. A lot of these, everything on this belt can be found on Battle Belt Accessories in the shop. So that's the Blue Alpha Gear tourniquet holder. We have our deep concealment adjustable cant race mag carriers. You can run them inside the waist as well as outside the waist. So I am running them outside the waist here. I don't like canted mags on my belt. I do run canted appendix, but I don't run canted on the belt. So here I have my staccato mags set up for it. So it's got that nice little cutaway for an index point, and you can draw your magazines. Moving on, we have our AR-15 Kydex mag shell on a Ridgeline drop with tech lock. You can buy this configuration under Quick Ship or Battle Belt Accessories. You can add the drop from Ridgeline. It's nice this time of year. You can see that it's sitting lower and away, and it tips away from the body. Wearing a heavy sweatshirt. I'm wearing a Ridgeline sweatshirt, and you can see that the Ridgeline drop gets it a little lower and farther away from my coat, sweatshirt, whatever, and you can get to the mag easier, and it tips it up away and low. So you can add that to the website. This is our micro drop. Our micro dump pouch. It's got a suppressor, and you can see how deep it really is. It's got a stiffening element in there and the bungee cord to create a little capture effect. You can get these under Battle Belt Accessories. This is our new med kit. This is one of the prototype pieces. This is not the finished good that we will be selling in a few weeks, but this is the prototype. So anyway, that's our new med kit. That will be available either by the time this video is published or afterwards. I'm running a Tor Cryptea knife, but we do have custom knife sheaths on our website. You can go check out the knife sheath builder. If your knife isn't listed, you can mail your knife in and we'll make you a sheath. And then this is our tactical belt mount system. It's our very own belt mount system that has cant cut into it. So this would replace a Safariland UBL. It sits tighter to the body. It's shorter, and we're still running it on a QLS. This is our Nidhogg series holster, our thigh band, and then a 9-toes Vastus. The Vastus system here brings your thigh band more perpendicular to your leg rather than riding up into and crushing your genitalia. So it drops it lower and away. It's more comfortable, but still keeps the weapon system tight to the leg. Anyway, you can find all these accessories under Battle Belt Accessories. Thank you for watching.